Namaste, Jai Bharat. Citizens of Bharat, especially the youngsters, should very carefully think about phenomena happening around, analyze and take decisions. There are so many things happening in the world. On the one hand, this IRGC America war goes on. On the other hand, there is this Ukraine Russia war goes on. Oil supply should have got disrupted long before, but our government is managing effectively, efficiently. But how long this can continue smoothly remains to be seen. Because every time, every day, the situation keeps shifting, changing. So what should be the approach, perspective and attitude of a nationalist citizen? Primarily, if you are a Rashtravadi, that's a nationalist, then it's absolutely mandatory that we should stand by the nation. Once our nation is disturbed in any means, slightly even, it disturbs and destroys each and every citizen. So a citizen should accept his responsibility of belonging to the nation. The responsibility of belonging to the nation is serious. We must identify, recognize and accept that responsibility of belonging to the nation. Without nation, we all are big zeros. Our everything depends on our nation. And our nation has this speciality that the unity of our nation is not synthetically woven. It is structurally inbuilt. Start at the Rigveda itself. The last sukta of Rigveda is Aikamatya Sukta, which talks about the unity. So our togetherness is an epistemological phenomenon which comes right from the Vedas. So it's natural to us, spontaneous to us, irrespective of the fact of attacks on it from all possible quarters and angles. So we should, when you make judgments about phenomenal world or phenomena happening around us, we should make the judgments always with this stage setting, this background, that our nation first. There may be rulers whom we may not accept, some may not accept. Not all people can be equally efficient, dedicated and selfless. But then the majority of our rulers as it is now are efficient, selfless and dedicated. That's a very rare phenomenon rather. Look at the situations. There are many things happening. For instance, you look at a thing, the farmers' agitation in Delhi some time back. Try to analyze such a thing. Who funds? And if you happen to go there and see, there is no dearth of fund and money. Liquor flows in the evening. Food is plenty. Activities, singing, dancing, and also things what we should not speak of worse on. Same is the situation, was the situation in Shaheen Bagh. And same is the situation we find in Jantar Mandir now. Who is this Sonam Wangchuk? And other people, those who are involved. What are their intentions? From where the fund comes? Who funds? There is an allegation, I cannot speak for sure, but logically possible, that see, the deep state, US deep state, wants to distract Bharat, disturb Bharat, destabilize Bharat, because they don't want another country evolving strong. That's common with many people. I'm not just speculating on this. This is common with many people. If you look around, you see around, you will experience this. So there are people attempting, whom we rhetorically call as the 0.5 enemy from within. They are not spontaneous or natural enemies of the nation, but they are somehow thoughtlessly giving into the propaganda and activities of those with definite interest, money power and other kinds of power. So you give in unknowingly, inadvertently, thinking that that's progressive movement, thinking that that's right thing, thinking that that should be done, etc., etc. And in the process, nothing comes out of it, obviously and for certain, but that disturbance to the nation is done. Why these so-called activists, agitators, take only such cases which are against the nation? Rulers, nation are the same, which are against the nation. Don't you think that there are plenty of things in our nation which needs your attention, intervention, but such incidents are not addressed? They are not brought, these people, they are not even addressed at all. They are sidelined miserably. But the issues which affects nation, they are addressed and they are highlighted, and propaganda is made, and you are lured into this kind of a movement forward. So this one, every citizen of this nation has to be careful. Students, you should try to think and understand. Understand and think. These two things you should do. Think and understand, and see things and think before conclusion, before concluding, and before taking sides. Look at any actors in our nation, and this remains a fact. They are very selective actors. They don't address issues other than which destroys the nation. They would ask for resignation of some people, rightly or wrongly. That let it remain besides the point. But why should these people do it? How many of these Jantar Mandir characters went to write NEET exam? Or how many of their relatives? And how seriously they are involved in NEET exam process? Question you should ask for it to yourselves. How genuine they are. If they are really concerned about the nation, if they are really concerned about the citizens of this nation, if they are really concerned about Bharat, don't you think there are many other issues which they ought to have addressed before addressing these things? But then these things which can be used against the nation, both directly or indirectly, are picked up, spread and focused upon, and make you dance according to that. Let's remember, let's recall that Bharat's unity is based on a Sanskriti. We share the same Sanskriti. Sanskriti is normally translated into English as culture, but Sanskriti is not just culture. It's much beyond culture. Sanskriti is culture. Of course, if you say, how do you try to understand culture? Let's call culture as refined human existence. Man is a refinedly existing, minus all impurities possibly. There might still remain impurities, all right, but then they are approximating a perfection which is impossible. But if an achievement of a perfection is impossible, but approximation is always possible. So a process of approximating perfection is done. Eliminating all possible impurities, attempts, approximation is done. So, refined human existence is that. But that's culture. But once it comes to Sanskriti, it is also refined human existence, but it's different. It's a refined human existence based on a knowledge tradition. That's what makes Sanskriti much wider, richer, and mightier than a concept of culture. Sanskriti is refined human existence based on a knowledge tradition. In this case, in our case, Bharat's case, it's a Vedopanishadic knowledge tradition. Someone would attach Vedopanishadic knowledge with Hindu knowledge tradition, that's fine. But Hindu is a term used not in the religious sense. Religion itself is not a concept available to us, it's an alien concept of us. For us it is dharma, and it's a hell of a lot of difference between dharma and religion. So, Sanskriti is refined human existence based on the Vedopanishadic knowledge tradition with the inbuilt longing towards the transcendental. We do not know about the transcendental, but we believe that there is a transcendental. So we long towards the transcendental. This is what Sanskriti is. And this precisely makes Sanskriti much wider, much richer than the narrow understanding of culture. So Bharat is united through the Sanskriti. And any attempt to disturb the Sanskriti must be treated as anti-national. And there are many agencies who are trying at it, not really realizing the strength of our Sanskriti. That they don't realize, they can't realize because they don't have such background. But any attempt to disturb through any means, they'll use all tools. There are many tool kits made available to these people. So they will use all such tools to disturb. They try to destroy, but since destruction is impossible, many of them realize that. They try to disturb at least. And that disturbance affects us. So let's be clear. So let's think, understand and think, reflect, think, analyze, understand before conclusion and before making judgments. Let us not judge. Let us not blindly act. Let us remain real citizens of this mighty nation. Let's accept the greatness of this Sanskriti. And let's also realize that Sanskriti, we are all the part of it. Irrespective of your faith system, the Sanskriti remains same. Think about these things. It's time that we should propagate, popularize such national feelings for our own sake. Otherwise, we just can't exist meaningfully in this present kind of chaotic world. We shall meet. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.